Okay. Thank you very much for this inspiring day. I'm very honored to be with you. And I want to thank you, Charles, for this invitation. But I want to say you how important is Charles for me. Since a few years ago, it was the second person in the world I wanted to meet. And then my wife, make a miracle. And we had the chance to organize an exhibition of, Charles' work. And we even have an Alpe tour with a car and a website of artificial intelligence many years ago, and even the traditional Sicilian biscuit with the head of Charles. Okay. But before I start to talk about Foreign Cultural Park, I want to show you the place just to bring you in.
I think Favara is one of the world's capital of urban regeneration.
Lovely people, lovely place.
Nobody believed it was possible to attract hundreds of thousands of tourists to Favara from all over the world.
They were wrong.
At a certain point, a spaceship landed. Since then, everything started to change.
Today, Farm Cultural Park acts like a tornado in the current debate about how small communities can survive global changes and economic crisis.
Young people from all over southern Italy are changing their towns.
Thanks to inspiration from the farm.
Children of Favara are having an experience that children of New York, Tokyo, and Milan can only dream of.
Florinda and Andrea are dedicating their entire life to this project. It's an enormous commitment.
Farm is questioning the ugly habits of the political and bureaucratic system.
In Favara, they are playing an important game that concerns the whole country.
Who will win? The old corrupt system or the power for a change?
Okay, just 2 books to explain what we do. It's place making, so we transform, ugly place in beautiful place, and we work with, creative people. Every year, hundreds of people, artists, architects come to Sicily just to foster social change. And we invest in places, ideas, and collectives and institutions. And our main core is, to do cultural centers, spaces like this. On the right, you see, on the left, you see Favara, the 7 courtyards, where we started 15 years ago. On the left, there is Sophie Odling, which is, an Australian artist who made this beautiful artwork in the place of Mazzarino, the second home of Farm Cultural Park. We started in 2010, and this is how it was Favara. It was totally abandoned, neglect. It was a city of mafia. And then we change it, and we bring art, installation, and we make gardens. And we host a lot of exhibition, but not just to do an exhibition. It's just to talk about, politics and policies. This was an exhibition about what is co-duality, talking about, public space inside private building and vice versa, with a focus on shared houses. And when I visited this place in Tokyo, this is the office of Kazuyo Sejima. On the right side, there is this picture. There is this first floor is just for the community, and you can go there. You can have a coffee, but there is not a bar. You get the coffee, you pay change, and you can stay, you can relax, you can talk. It's just to understand that there is a professional who gives something for the community without asking anything in return. And I'll show you this picture of an architecture of So Fujimoto. Look, the house, the other house, are not very, beautiful, not ugly, but how beautiful is this architecture? How much light and how much beauty bring to the neighborhood. So this is not a 2-3 floor house, but it's a 21 level house. And the question is, but what if I want to call So Fujimoto in Sicily and ask him to project a house like this? Would they give me the permission, the authorization? Probably not. Then I want to fight and struggle just to have the right to dream, plan, and build beauty. In 2018, I had the chance to be guest of the United States Department, and they brought me to Washington, Pittsburgh, and Detroit. Detroit is quite unbelievable. You know, it's a huge city, and 90% of this city is totally vacant. You know, let's see this picture of Jeff George, and you see these guys with a mobile phone. Nothing is happening behind him, but actually, house is burning. And this is, for example, Heidelberg project. It was made by Thierry Gaidon, an Afro-American artist who changed 2 streets of Detroit with a lot of abandoned, items. So the house of Peluche or the house of clocks, and 400,000 people every year visit this place. I was so inspired by Detroit that I realized an exhibition that I called Detroit Syndrome, because I was totally addicted, finding, everything about Detroit. And from that trip and that exhibition, we signed an agreement with a sister organization in Detroit. She's Alyssa Shelton, and we are trying to build a kind of bridge between Favara and Detroit, because in a different scale, we are facing the same challenges. And Countless Cities, our main important cultural format, is a biennial of the cities of the world. Every 2 years we invite in Sicily, municipalities, universities, artists, designers, just to show us their city, just to have inspiration about them. So, for example, the story of Garbage City in Cairo is a very inspiring story about, a community they call Zebelen. 30,000 people live collecting garbage in the city. And you may think that they are poor, but actually they are rich. And I asked them about what they do with this money. They buy gold. But, when we visit that place, it was very strong. The smell was, and all people have all kind of disease in that place. But you understand that, we can adapt to everything, People born there, raised there, get married, they have child, they belong to that place. It's very inspiring. You discover beauty even in places where you don't think there is beauty. Or Beirut, with this beautiful artwork made by Jad El-Khoury, who put this curtain, this colored curtain in this abandoned building in the center of Beirut, just to flip the shame of a place which was a place of war into a place of hope. And this is a kind of, statement about how important it is for us this way to bring artists to share culture, to share, their expectation, to share their, skills. And in 2020, we have the chance to win the prestigious award of the Seoul Design City. We work with education. We have a school of architecture for children, and the mission is just to give back to our children the power of creativity, and trying to explain them how important it is to plan something for them, but even for their neighbor, their condo, their town, and give them even the chance to think that they make possible the impossible. When we started this project in Favara, everyone, our parents, our close friends, they said, you are crazy. No one will come to Favara. It's impossible. You will never change this town with art and culture. They were wrong. So we started with this school in 2017 in Favara. Now we have 29 schools throughout Italy. And this year, you know, on the left there is this girl, a young girl, is my daughter, Viola. She was 7. This was the first day in 2017. This year, Viola is the director of the Favara School of Architecture for Children. And the main issue was the culture of peace. And for the first lesson, Viola invited 2 schoolmates, Anastasia, which is from Russia, and Milana, she's from Ukraine. And they are best friends. And they explained that they can be even best friends even if their country are in war. And we work with the gender equality issue, and we have a quadriennial, we call this Radical She. And we try to work putting together, you know, teenager and elderly people, and making intergenerational spaces. And always we invite artists to share, you know, their residences working with, you know, the old ladies of Favara. And we signed an important agreement with the Prefettura of Agrigento, which is, you know, the local government. And we are working with, you know, a lot of migration. And we are just forming a space, an hotspot. It is a very, you know, ugly place, but art can do many things. Probably now you are asking yourself what was, you know, the most significant change, and I'll show you this video. I hope that you can read the subtitles because it's in Italian.
La mentalità dei favaresi.
Favara non è più paese da cui si scappa, da cui si va via, da cui si pigliano armi e bagagli e si emigra.
C'è un forte senso di solidarietà, c'è una sana competizione, una sana voglia di far crescere la propria città.
Quello che sta accadendo adesso invece sono dei piccoli shock di cambiamento che la città di Favara e i favaresi subiscono grazie appunto a tutta una serie di iniziative che si sono innescate in seguito alla creazione di questo grande progetto che è Pharma Cultural Park.
Sta succedendo qualcosa di assolutamente inedito. I giovani che vivono Favara per la prima volta nella storia hanno trovato qualcuno che li potesse ascoltare. Chi ascolta i giovani al giorno d'oggi? Chi gli chiede che cosa vuoi fare tu nella tua vita? E qui hanno trovato un luogo molto friendly, molto amichevole, dove si sono potuti esprimere liberamente. Quindi qui dentro i ragazzi non vengono visti come il problema disoccupazione, ma vengono visti come la risorsa per il luogo.
C'è un'energia, una forte energia, giovani, sembra di stare in un posto come Berlino che non ti aspetteresti mai di trovare in mezzo alla Sicilia. Secondo me questo posto negli anni a venire sarà proprio insomma, come un magnete che attrarrà tutte le energie più positive dell'Europa, del mondo, quindi non solo gli artisti, ma volendo anche chi vuole investire, non so, nel campo immobiliare. Credo che tutto salirà di valore qua, partendo proprio dalla cultura.
Ma io ero abituato ad andare fuori per attivare il mio processo di conoscenza, invece tutto questo oggi accade qui a Favara, cioè vengono a casa tua, e questa è una cosa bellissima e straordinaria che sta accadendo.
Se dobbiamo guardare indietro, ma non tanto indietro, quindi parliamo 7 anni fa, prima dell'evento della Farmi. Il cambiamento è un cambiamento economico di notevole importanza, visto che l'economia di Favara stava attraversando un periodo molto fermo, non conosceva il turismo e non si vedevano sbocchi all'orizzonte, quindi cambiamento è un cambiamento economico, ma poi con il passando degli anni si nota anche un cambiamento culturale, anche se poco, però un cambiamento c'è nei bambini, nelle persone, e spero che questo cambiamento continui, perché la crescita di un paese, di una civiltà, è proprio la crescita culturale.
Ma il cambiamento più significativo è la fiducia dei cittadini, nella fiducia di cambiare le cose, cioè la consapevolezza e la forza di dire è possibile cambiare le cose attraverso il sacrificio, l'impegno, la volontà.
Credere in se stessi, ma come comunità, come cittadini. C'è qualcuno che crede che Favara possa scrivere delle pagine di storia.
Thank you very much. Yeah, to think that when we started in Favara 2010, there were just 6 rooms for hospitality. Now there are 600 rooms. It's a little change. 2021, we opened a new space in Mazzarino. So we have an embassy for cultural diplomacy, and we have the honor to have Charles and Susie, and it's a beautiful place. And there is another space, which is a public space, where we are working on with teenagers, and we invite 1,200 teenagers to build this project with us. It's not easy. We collect a lot of frustration. But this year we are having a new experience. We make a call and we are giving €1,000 just to give them the chance to decide what they want to do. We are going to give you the space, the money, and mentorship. What do you want to do, please? And 2025, now, today, the 5th of July, we're going to open a new space in Palermo. This beautiful place is an old convento, and we had first event in October. After 2 months, they gave us the space, and we brought 100 students all around the city of Palermo, meeting culture operator, social operator, the church, and the Palermo Football Club. Everyone. It was beautiful. It was full of energy. What are we going to do in this space? We're going to host the Museum of the Cities of the World. And in the last few months, everything is changing, And so we ask ourselves, can we do a Museum of the Cities of the World in this moment without talking about, peace, freedom, and human rights? And so we are going to host, a film about Ai Weiwei, the famous Chinese artist who was kidnapped by the Chinese government. And we're going to talk about, Cairo and Al-Sisi regime. We had a young guy, a young student who was murdered in Cairo. We're going to talk about, the Wagner agency in Central Africa. We're going to talk about war, about Ukraine and Gaza. I think that all of us, we need to change our program because we need to have the awareness that we are part of that kind of resistance. And we're going to host an exhibition, and the inspiration is always Charles. And you see this graphic with the 7 containers. Each container is part of, it was inspired by one of the most important book of Charles, Making Great Cities. If you have to live in a city, you need a house. It's not important if you are a student or if you are a couple, if you are rich or not, but you need a house, a job, the livability, which is full of different, things. For example, Rio de Janeiro is a beautiful city, the nature is powerful, but then you go out for dinner and they, cut your harm just to bring your clock. And so it's dangerous. And successful cities are places where you can learn, where you can reflect like we are doing now. And cities talk with other cities and have the ability, the capacity to talk about them, to storytell them. And they inspire other citizens to be better, to be active citizens, and they develop a sense of belonging. And we are going to have stories, a collection of different stories of the world. We are talking about, informal housing and favela, slum. This is a great artist, which is half UK, half French. His name is Seb Toussaint, and this is Bogota. And he made 100 different walls to make this wonderful packs, right? And again, work and Varanasi, the sacred city of India, an unbelievable place. Please go if you can. And we're going to talk, for example, about the power of friendship. Scientists understood how powerful is friendship, and that loneliness causes death like smoke. And so our motto is do what you can with what you have where you are. And I'm leaving with a small video. Just, yes, I hope that can inspire you.
Arrivata Charles Landry. The Heart of Creative City Making by Charles Landry.
Thank you very much.